Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we unfortunately lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Nashville Predators in the first round. And then to rub salt into our wounds, we lost two of our best players ever in my franchise modes, and those being Raimo, Jaaskelainen and Gene Thornton. We lost both of them to retirement, which was very tragic, because now this team is probably not going to have a good chance of winning a Stanley Cup, I'd say, because you could see Burns is still good, and we could definitely re-sign Burns, because if we lose Burns, then we're kind of going back into a rebuild state, but we still got Burns and Patan for kind of good centers, but other than that, we don't really have a whole lot, but we do have some good young players, at least like Cole and Petrovicky and King, that are also on the way up, so hopefully those guys continue to grow, or else we're not going to have a shot at winning a Stanley Cup by the end of this franchise mode. Also, guys like Taratukin are up for renewal, McGrattan, Yip, so it's going to be a bit expensive to re-sign all these defensemen, but I'm hoping that we can keep most of this team together, and hopefully we don't make the playoffs this year in a sense, because hopefully we can maybe take a year or two to kind of just like retool and rebuild, and then maybe get one last shot at a Stanley Cup in our final season or final two seasons. So anyways, let's get into some comments before we get into this offseason, because we do actually have a good amount of comments, probably mostly to do with Raimo. So the first one is from HawksFan88. He says, definitely two huge losses. Maybe you have time to tank a year or two, get some good draft picks, and make one more run, which is basically what I was just saying. Hopefully we could kind of tank a little bit now that we lost Jaaskelainen and Thornton. I wanted those guys to win Stanley Cups, but unfortunately they never did. Jaaskelainen got 8 Selkies, so very happy with both of them, though. And yeah, those guys are definitely going to go down in channel history, I'd say, for sure. And who knows, also with Griffin on the back end, maybe our team is just going to do really good, because Griffin is still insane of a player, and I really hope that he could still produce even with the losses of our big two. And yeah, hopefully he does pretty well. Our next comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, big F for Raimo, Gene. Godspeed, you absolute legends. And then it's funny because it said that their careers went by too quick. And he said, yeah, they even went quicker when he binge watched this entire series like he has. So, yeah, I can't imagine binge watching all 68 episodes up to that point. So, damn, thank you for binge watching. And yeah, it sucks that Raimo Gene retired in last episode. Next comment is from Rebecca Weiss-Woods, who says, sucks that they didn't go into coaching or scouting. Would have been nice to see their jerseys retired too. Yeah, would have been nice to, like, if NHL 22 had jersey number retirements and stuff like that, I would have definitely retired their jersey numbers easily. And also, yeah, it does suck that none of them went into coaching or scouting, because imagine if we would have had, like, Raimo behind the bench with that crazy hair, and if we also had, like, Gene Thornton behind the bench as well. That would have been really cool, but unfortunately that's not the case. And then our last comment is from Jeff Brilinski, who says, rip Gino and Raimo. And yeah, Jeff is the one that's keeping track of everything on a spreadsheet for me, so that's how I know that Gene and Raimo are very instrumental pieces to all my franchise modes, I'd say. They're probably like the best two players I've ever had, like the best dynamic duo. But that's probably just because they've played like literally every single game since they got drafted, in a sense, because I don't think they got injured ever, because we turned injuries down, and we've never suffered one since, really. But anyways, let's get into this offseason. You guys didn't mention about who to draft, and I think there was a guy that I was looking at that was like NHL ready almost, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong. Actually, never mind. Our scouts did not do a good job this year. Oh yeah, this doesn't look like a good draft class. So we're going to have to take a lot of shots in the dark, but it is okay. It is okay. Hopefully this team can still find a way to get some good prospects in, because we'll definitely need those for another chance at a Stanley Cup. But let's get into this draft, see what happens, and then yeah, hopefully re-sign stage-wise, we can kind of keep most of our big pieces at least. Oh, look at that in the message center. Sad day in hockey. Raimo Jaaskelainen has decided to call it quits. It hurts to see that. And then Gene Thornton has many discussions with his family and has decided to announce his retirement. Well, at least Gene gets to spend time with his family, I guess. And Raimo, I don't know what Raimo is up to now. Maybe he's going back to Finland to coach like some under 18 World Junior Championship team or something. We'll just say that. I don't know. Okay, so, oh yeah, I forgot about that. The first 3 picks in this year's draft are all California teams, which is really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it happen before. So let's see what this year's top 5 is like. So San Jose at number 1 is going to take DeVos, who's an 81 playmaker, medium elite. Does have X factors as well. Looks like a good D here. Good passing, obviously, as well. So that should be interesting for San Jose. Anaheim at number 2 is going to take Cook, Mr. Dwayne Cook, who also does have X factors. He is a sniper, really good shooting categories on a surprise. Yeah, this guy's going to be a stud once he actually develops pretty well, I'd say. If he is next to like a good playmaker or whatnot, or if he doesn't get scratched for some weird reason, because you know the AI teams are kind of weird. LA at number 3 is going to take Good Branson, who's an 81 sniper, so good as the first overall pick, so Anaheim might have made a mistake there, but this guy's got better shooting categories than the other guy. Not at, like, solid face-offs still, but not great face-offs yet. But all around, this guy looks like a beast. Really good skating as well, and decent physical categories for a sniper too, so that guy's going to be a really good player. He's only 5'9", but for some reason he has good physical categories, which is weird. I mean, his strength isn't that good, but his body checking is decent for somebody of that size, I'd say. And in Philadelphia at number 4 is going to take Plus, who's a 79 defensive defenseman. Got shut down. Pretty old school D, man. Good hitting and whatnot, that type of thing. Not too bad. And Arizona at number 5 is going to take Stoll, who's a 69 top 6. So looks like the draft class is dropping off a lot right there. Hopefully we could find a random seal to help out our team. This guy's name is Duke Stoll. Interesting name. So there's your top 5 in this year's draft. Interesting. It should be cool to see these 3 California teams battle it out in the next few years, just because of the fact all of them just drafted a good player in that first top 3. So there's that. Let's zoom to our pick at number 25 and see what we could get, and see if we could get ourselves a top 6 forward or a top 4 defenseman, which I think we need more forwards than anything after the losses of Jaaskelainen and stuff like that. So there's Jude Seabrook, who's 17. We don't know anything about. There's also Nick Almond, who we don't know anything about. The scouts are recommending us one of these 3, which is interesting because those guys are supposed to go a little bit later. But our scouts, I don't know if they just didn't do their job this year or a lot of them are dropping off, but no weakness, 4 years out. 4 years out makes me think he might be a top 9 or he might be a low elite, but I don't know if I want to take that risk. To be honest, I don't think he looks that good if he's got season all those categories. Like, sure, the shooting and puck skills are decent, but I don't know for sure if he's a low elite or not. And then you got Bill Woods, who might be decent. Yeah, I might go with Bill Woods. He's a centerman as well, so somebody that replaced Jaaskelainen maybe. But a lot of these guys aren't going to eventually... You guys aren't probably going to see a lot of these guys end up making the roster unless they get a lot of good growth really quickly. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Bill Woods here. 17 years of age. If those categories that are all Bs are decent, he might be a decently all-around, and 3 years out, he might be a top 6 forward. So, welcome to the team, Bill Woods. Let's see how good you are. Top 9. Goddamn. That might not have been a good pick. 62 grinder. Yeah, we're probably never going to see this guy play. That was a big whiff. Did we miss out on anybody good? No, there's another top 9 in Seabrook, but a little bit better overall-wise. Nope, looks like everybody else is top 9, so this draft is going to be terrible, which is not what we want, because we want to have good drafts, obviously, after losing good players like Jaaskelainen and whatnot. What else we got here? Chubasov might be intriguing. Did look like he might have A's in some categories, but I don't know if he's going to be that good. Then this guaranteed top 9. Looks like he does have an X factor, though. Maybe. What about Ed Heatley? 4 years out, 17. It says no weakness, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this draft class just doesn't look really that good. Sure, let's just go Chubasov, get ourselves more centermen. Low top 6, 64, not bad. Might end up panning out. Has really good defensive awareness and good passing, so that passing category might be the determining factor if this guy's actually going to be good or not. Because with the 88 passing, actually solid shooting as well, I'd say, for the most part, except for his wrist shot accuracy. He might actually be decent offensively if we give him an opportunity at some point. So hopefully get some good growth, and then he can jump to our NHL team as soon as like next season or the season afterwards. But yeah, in general, this draft class is probably not going to help us out much. Low top 4 defenseman, can't go wrong with that, I guess. It's better than nothing. And we've seen low top 4s pan out because Griffin's pan out, so we might as well just go with him. We're going to try and get through the rest of this draft as fast as possible because I want to get to the re-sign stage and also see if there's any former players in free agency and stuff like that. Let's go to pick 124 now. See if we can pick up anything else that's intriguing. Yeah, this draft class is maybe one of the worst draft classes I've seen. Let's just take a goalie prospect, because why not? Just in case. Medium for a starter. 62 is not bad for a 19-year-old, I guess. I don't know if he'll pan out, but still gives us more options just in case we run out of players and Blues players in the offseason and whatnot. So maybe Aegon, since he looks like he could be a little elite, but he's 20 years old though. 4 years away though is not bad. You know what, we're going to take him anyways. He's an overager. Let's see if he's good overall. 60 overall at 20 is not good. Only low top 9 potential. Yeah, this is a really bad draft. Might be the worst one we've seen, I think, in this entire series, which is not good. Oh, look at that. Apparently Blacker was traded to the Lightning. I don't know if that's our former player, because didn't we have Cohen Blacker at one point in the series? I think. Unless I'm just remembering a Blacker from a different series, but all of a sudden that name just came to my mind. Hans Endres, he's the only one that we know about, really, so let's take him, why not? Low top 60. Yeah, this is a really bad draft. And our final pick, let's see if we can find any random steals with this last pick. Any low elites that are guaranteed, and no. Yeah, I honestly don't know how we're going to find something here. Shannon Stoner, 19 years of age. Zane Pagaduin, 5 years out. Now, there's a guaranteed medium backup goalie, but he is supposed to go pretty late, looks like. You know what, we're just going to go with the Stoner, guys. Shane and Stoner, welcome aboard, because I honestly have no idea. Bottom 6 forward. It is what it is. Probably not a lot of those guys are going to make the NHL team, but it is what it is. We got more prospects in. It sucks that we can't trade them because of it being a draft of glory, but there you go. Let's get into this re-sign stage now. We do got to get our head coach back, which I didn't even realize. I don't know if he's going to want to come back to a team like this, but... Oh, he wants more money. I'll offer him what he wants and see if we can get him back, but if we don't get him back, we're going to have to look for new head coach as well this offseason. So we got a lot to do, so hopefully this episode is not too long, because we're already around the 12-minute mark and we still got to re-sign players and check if there's any former players in free agency and all that stuff. Okay, so re-sign stage-wise, what do we got? 70 million in cap space. Wow, okay. Let me just take a look at the UFAs. So Chad Burns is a very important piece now to this team, so I will lock him up, I guess, for exactly what he wants. Might be a bit weird to do that. And then Teratukin, I don't want him to leave yet, I don't think. Let me just go to goalies first. Cousins, leave him for now. Let me see, what does McGrattan want? Ooh, wow. These defensemen want a lot of money. I want to make sure we keep some of our forwards, because or else we're going to be way too bad. Let's go 4.2. Can we keep Yip? No, Yip wants $7 million. He's going to be gone for now, I think. But yeah, our defense might take a hit as well this offseason. But let's try and make sure we get most of our forwards back, because or else we know for a fact we're going to drop off a lot. Like, a lot of these guys are relatively cheap, at least, so. And then these guys probably all went one way. Yeah, I don't know why. Now, let's go to the bottom of this list, though. Get rid of some of these guys that are drafted that aren't going to pan out. Morrison, he's top 9 potential, so I'll sign him up for the AHL. I'll also sign Webb up, because he's got top 6, and Keeler. Hopefully some of those guys can make it. Keeler might grow to being something decent. Stanton as well, since you're 70 at 21, we'll sign you. And we'll sign Cool. Okay, so that's good on that front. Do we need Cousins? I don't think so, right? We got too much goalies probably in the system, right? Let me just see. Main roster. How much goalies do we have under contract? 1, 2, and then all the RFAs. Yeah, we don't need Cousins. So Cousins, you are gone. Best of luck in free agency. And yeah, we'll have to decide on those contracts on the defense. Let me just qualify all the RFAs, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to qualify all the RFAs, because right now I don't know if I want to just keep on giving them contracts. What does Cole want? 2 years at 3.6. Some of these contracts are actually not terrible. I'll definitely qualify the ones that are just like AHL players right now. But like some of the NHL ones, maybe we'll just lock up, because in that way they're at least signed until the end of the, like, this franchise mode series, right? So what does Petrovicki want? He's a good goal scorer, so I feel like I should lock him up a decent amount. He'll be UFA by the end of that. 4 years will be right near the end of this franchise mode. So you know what? We're going to try and give him like 4 years at like a little bit less than 4. I'm going to try and get these guys locked up because I know they're important to this team's future. We'll also do Cole on a 4-year deal, and I'll try and talk him down a little bit. And we'll also... oh, damn, King wants a lot. 4-year deal as well for him. And we'll try and get him up a little bit more. Those guys are very important to the team's future, so... Goalie only wants a one-way deal and then needs a UFA. I'm going to qualify the other goalies. And then goalie, he only wants a 1-year deal, and then if I go up, it wants too much. I'll just qualify him. And even though if we lose him next offseason, we have at least some goalies to take over, but yeah. So there's that. And then we got to worry about Teratukin, McGrath, and Yip. We're probably going to end up losing a defenseman regardless. I would like to keep Bungenberger just in case, so 2 years at 1.3 if he wants to accept that. We'll definitely take him back at that price. I'm going to have to probably write down a lot of those AHL guys' names, so let's advance today, see if we get all those guys that we just offered contracts to. The coach does not come back, which means we're going to have to find a new coach, and Burns accepted, which is great because we definitely need him to stay around. We have $37 million in cap space. Okay, that's good. We still have a goalie that needs to be signed in and all these UFAs. Pietrangelo is the one that was getting paid like $2 million to play on our team, but he does score. But I don't really know if he's worth that much amount of money. I don't know if he's worth over $2 million. Let me get Teratukin back first, though, because he's the priority signing, I'd say, on defense. Yeah, well, let's just give him exactly what he wants. And then... if I was to prioritize a defenseman, it would be McGrattan over Yip just because of Yip's age. Let's see if I could talk him down a little bit. And then, yeah, these three probably are gone, which means I'm going to have to probably write down Pietrangelo and Klein just in case they're still there at the start of the season. But Yip is more than likely going to go off to sign with another team, I guess. And then unsigned-wise, we don't need to sign anybody yet, so that's good. Yep, all those guys could sit there for another year. Let's advance and see if we got Teratukin and McGrattan back. We got both of them back. Okay, we got only $18 million in cap space, which is probably enough for goalie and all our RFAs. Which means, yeah, Yip is gone, which is okay, because we could always play like a 78 if we could find a former player. And then Klein and Pietrangelo are gone for now as well, so I got to write down their names so I do not forget, because if they're there at the start of the season, I would gladly bring them back for like $850K, but when they want like $2 million, you know, it's not really worth it at that stage. So let's write down their names. Let me just get Notepad open up here, and we will write down all their names. So I'm going to write down Yip as well, just in case he's randomly there and we could afford him, but I don't think we're going to be able to. We also got Klein, who is a D-man, and we got Pietrangelo, who is gone. But I think this team is still going to be somewhat decent, but obviously it's going to be... we need to start getting some good prospects in for this team as well, so who knows how good this team is going to be without Raimo and whatnot. So those three are gone, which is good, and yep, that's pretty much our team, I guess, for now. So let's see what we got on our roster. What do we got? So we got, yeah, we got a weak center core. I guess Wharton will take over center-wise. Yeah, our team is definitely not going to be that good on the bottom six. It's going to be probably a top-heavy team. Defensively, still really good, though. And then goalie-wise, once goalie signs, they'll be fine. And then Bradley's on the uprise, so Bradley could eventually take over for goalie, which would be good, so... there we go. That is that. Let's sim to free agency and see if there's any former players in free agency that we could bring back. And we also need to hire ourselves a coach, which we will do that as well in this episode, just because we'll need to find somebody. We'll probably look at the start of the season or close to the end of the offseason for a coach, just because we want to find somebody that fits well with the full-on roster for the most part. But then again, we actually have most of our rosters, so let's see what there's available for free agents, if there's any former players. So let's start off with goalies. Not that we need to sign ourselves a goalie, but Vlasic wasn't the best goalie last year, so Vic Benson is there, but I'm not giving him $8 million. Don't have the cap space, really. Let's go to UFA and see if there's anything out there. Any former goaltenders? Probably nothing, I would assume, because we didn't have any goalies that really stood out in this series so far. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's really anything for goalies. There's probably some players, but some of them will probably be there at the beginning. Like Park, for example, will be there at the start of next season. We could always bring back Park and then not play Vlasic. But then again, we might not want to contend for a year or something like that. Defensively, do we got any former players? Yes, we got Cohen Blacker in free agency. We have not seen him in a while. He's bounced around a bit, it looks like. Huh. Cohen Blacker, huh? Not going to give him $9 million, though. Because that would eat up most of our cap space. But that's still kind of cool to see him in free agency. Yep, obviously he's back in free agency because we let him go. Some random guy with the last name Jaaskelainen. Damn, I wish I could sign this dude. Just have a Jaaskelainen on a team. But obviously I cannot do that. So yeah, defensively does not really look like a whole lot, unfortunately. In terms of right wingers, what do we got? Any former right wingers? Does not look like it, really. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be barely anybody. Oh, it's Scuderi. Is that our former guy? Yeah, it is. But he wants over $5 million bucks. I mean, if he's still there at the start of the season, we'll definitely bring him back. But he spent 1 year in New Jersey, had 54 points. He's a good player. But I don't know if he'll sign with anybody or what. I can't afford him right now, really, I'd say. Because we want to make sure we're managing our cap still, in a sense. Yeah, there's not really a lot out there. Left wing wise, anybody out there? Is that our former Lucic? No, that's a different Lucic, I was going to say. Sam Seadou's back in free agency, but I can't afford him. Spent a lot of time in Winnipeg, but he wants almost $12 million. It'd be nice to bring him back, because he's a good offensive player. He'd definitely help us. But I cannot afford him, because I don't want to give him $11 million and then, I don't know, all our RFAs and stuff like that. It will eat up a lot of our cap space to bring him back, probably. It'd be interesting, though. I'm trying to think if we could actually afford him. I don't even know if he'll fit our roster really that well. We'd have to find a new coach, probably, to match him a little bit better. It's intriguing to bring him back, but at that price point, I don't think he's worth that much amount of money. Because we want to surround like Griffin with some good players, you know. But at the same time, we don't know if we want to like make the playoffs. We want to get like the first overall pick. So Ortiz is back in free agency, but 9.4. Huh. All 4 lines from the other coach. How has Ortiz been since leaving us? He's bounced around quite a bit. Calgary, Colorado, Montreal, Chicago, and Toronto. Still a pretty good producer, it looks like. Yeah, there is definitely former players out there, but I'm not going to bring any of them back unless some of them are there at the beginning of the season, I think. Duke Ferraro's there as well. Good to see him actually still playing in the NHL. Yeah, I'm not going to bring any of them back just because I'm going to wait till the start of the season just to make sure. But let's begin the sim up to next season, because I think if we have 1 year where we do not make the playoffs, that will be okay. I'm just going to wait for all these guys to start accepting, and then we'll find ourselves a coach first. Looks like a lot of the RFAs are accepting, except for probably goalie's going to be the last one to hold out. My guess... Oh, Festerani's still holding out. There you go, we'll sign him up since he wants a 2-way. Vlasic, we'll sign you since you want a 2-way. And then, yeah, goalie still wants $4 million. That's not terrible. And we'll give him what he wants now. That's cheaper. And we'll actually have enough cap space to sign Sam Seadou, but I think he probably already just signed somewhere. I don't know if we want to bring him back anyways. Sam Seadou is still there. He's dropped his asking price. You know what? We're bringing back Sam Seadou on a 1-year deal. Let me just make sure he's the right one, right? Yeah, he is. Okay. We're going to bring him back on a 1-year deal. Even if that pushes us into being a playoff team, I just want to bring him back so he could retire with this club, because even though I didn't really like him as a player, it might as well bolster our offense a little bit more, because with some of the guys in our lineup, we don't want them being in like 75 overalls, right? So Ortiz also dropped his asking price. Can I afford both of them? I don't know. I don't know if I want to go all out in this year and try and win. Wait, so let's see. Approached. How much did we offer? 8 million. Oh yeah, we got goalie that's also re-signing. That's 3 million or 4 million, so like 12 million in cap space. Yeah, we don't have enough money yet to get him back, that other dude. And Ortiz. So let's do that, and then we'll go to coaching staff once Sea-Doo accepts, because he'll more than likely accept. Yep, he accepts automatically. So welcome back, same Sea-Doo. Let me just get goalie back as well. There we go. Okay, perfect. So how much cap space do we got still? Just in case I want to actually bring in somebody else. We got 7 million. 7 million. Ortiz is still there. We are going to offer Ortiz a contract as well. I know I'm going all out to win a Stanley Cup this year, but I want to bring back these former players. So we'll wait until Ortiz accepts, and then we'll find ourselves a coach that works well with as much players as possible. And then, yeah, this team might have a chance if we, just because bringing back Sea-Doo and Ortiz, maybe that will give us something for our roster. Sucks that we don't still have Jaaskelainen and stuff like that, but at least it freed up cap space, I guess you could say. So let's find a coach now. See if there's anything out there. Since obviously we lost our head coach, what do we got? And we want to go to cheap coaches, in a sense. We don't want to pay a lot for a coach. We only have like 1.4 something in available money. So what do we got here? 35%. Maybe I'll wait. 60% for Giroux and... Oh, that's only for Griffin and Sedin. Let's wait till the start of the season. Make this a little bit easier on us. So that way we know the coach's scheme fits a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, I think our team is going to do good this season. And I feel like those additions could actually help us, but I don't know if if it's a good move to make it to try and get into the playoffs again, because I know you guys said to try and take like a year or two to like rebuild, but at the same time, some of those guys might not develop fast enough. So, but we'll see. Maybe we'll not make the playoffs this year. What is the owner goals? Conservative buyer. Okay. We'll not go to edit lines yet because we are going to find ourselves a coach. Because the AI is going to sign us probably a pretty bad coach, right? 62% is not terrible, but let me just see if there's anything better out there in terms of coaches that we could actually afford. Let's see what we got. 55. That actually might be the best coach available. 65. Okay, this Maurice Valaket guy's probably the best. 65. He's only 50 years of age. Yeah, we're gonna sign Valaket. So let's hire Valaket as our NHL head coach and give him a little bit more than he wants. Actually, quite a bit more, just to play it safe. And then we're gonna take our current head coach and fire him and promote our associate, I think. Yeah, wait. NHL assistant coach. Interim NHL head coach for Meyer. And then he'll get replaced and we'll have to fire. Actually, wait. How do I get this to work? It's always annoying doing this coaching stuff. We will... Actually, I will fire this guy completely. So we get rid of that money. And then we'll promote you to interim NHL head coach. Just while we wait, I guess, we'll promote you to NHL associate coach for now. And yeah, we'll just advance a few more days and we should get that coach. And then that will help us in terms of our chemistry and stuff like that for the season. He declined. God damn it, Valaket. We need you. I don't want to get into season simulation yet, but we might have to in order to get this coach. I'm going to have to give him a good amount of money. Wait. Where are you, man? Valaket, there you are. Give you over $1 million because we got a lot of money to spend anyways. There you go. try and force him to be our head coach, because he's probably our best option with that 65. Let's see if he'll accept now. Come on, Valquette. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we got ourselves our new head coach, which is great. In Valquette and in Madden, I guess could be our associate. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter too much. There you go. Let's go to edit lines quickly and set this up, and then that'll be it for this episode, because we're running pretty long into this episode already, around 30 minutes. So Wharton and Vitali, okay. Let's send both of them down. Yeah, let's send both of them down. But our team should be a lot better with the additions of some former players. So Wharton and Vitali, you guys are both getting sent down. Anybody that needs to be called up, out of curiosity? Not really. Not yet, at least. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to edit lines again. And let's just go best lines for a second and adjust this a bit, maybe. Actually, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I might just leave it right like this. So, Sidu, Burns, Cole, Petrovicki, Ortiz, and King, Jacobs, Patan, and Afinasenkov, and a DeSalvatore with Radulov and Zigomanis, who's jumping up. He does have top 6 potential. Good offensive player as well. So maybe I want to get him more ice time as well if he gets a power play chance. Defensively, the coach doesn't seem to work that well with his coach, at least right now. Oh, that's the only way to get rid of the minus, but I do not want Sedin down on the top 6. Can I do something like this? I don't want Teratukin down there. Yeah, I guess I got to run with a minus, but I don't want the -3. If there's any way I could get rid of this minus. Maybe we have to play Sedin in a weird spot. Or Teratukin in a weird spot. Yeah, Teratukin's going to get first power play time or second power play time, but somebody's going to complain about ice time, I think. Oh, wait, maybe Umberger up here. Oh, now we're finding something. Yeah, it's minus regardless if I move Teratukin up. That sucks. But yeah, our team looks pretty good. I just don't know if I want to make the playoffs or not with this roster, but hopefully we don't make the playoffs, and hopefully we can get a good pick to add into this roster, because Ortiz, actually, he's dropping off quite fast. He might retire by 33, which is kind of scary. Sidu's still a top 6, so he probably won't retire for another 2 years or so, but there's that. AHL-wise, none of these guys are getting called up yet. Anybody scratched that shouldn't be. Actually, let's just go best lines down there in the minors for a second. And see if there's anybody that needs to be put in. So Gal's only got low 7th and stuff. Yeah, none of these guys probably need to be put in. Maybe Solomon Morrison because he's got top 6. We do actually have some good prospects down there, so our AHL team's starting to be a little bit better, looks like. We'll take out Langweeder just because he's a bit older. And we will throw in Morrison. It works. Maybe I'll move Kubina to the top line now. Defense looks like that. Goalies look like that. Bradley is already 23, but he's 74 now, so he might end up being a goalie at some point. But yeah, there is our NHL roster. Should be interesting. Let's get Griffin to the top power play as well, because I need Griffin to get power play time up there especially, because he's our offensive catalyst. And yeah, that should be fine. Not bad. Not bad at all. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll simulate the entire season. We'll see if this team can actually make the playoffs or not, or if the addition of like Sam Sidu and Carter Ortiz will help out this team in terms of playing offensively. So I'm going to think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.